Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kristen Spindler, Director of IncubatorCTX at Concordia University, Texas. I'd like to welcome you today to our first virtual Leadership Lunch series. I'm proud to introduce Carolyn Jenkins, who's going to talk today about compassionate leadership. Carolyn is a C-suite technology executive who's had experience managing companies through downturns and through upturns too. Today, she's going to guide us through her 4 philosophies that are essential for compassionate leadership. If you're new to Zoom, you have a chat function at the bottom of your screen, and you'll be able to ask questions and type them in there. Ben, Elizabeth, and I are going to be monitoring the chat for questions, so we'll be sure to see those as you type them in. Carolyn, thanks so much for joining us today. And with that, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so honored. All right, well, let's get started. As Kristen shared, I've had a long career so far, and I've had the opportunity to manage in good times and bad. And I think it was important to point out that the principles are the same. How you motivate and manage and reduce stress are the same. And they're maybe more heightened now because there's a lot more stress and uncertainty now. But these are good principles to learn in any situation. So we're going to talk about the platinum rule, the law not being your bar for what's the right thing to do, how your emotions matter, and different types of communication and how it counts. All right, so I wish I could see a show of hands for how many of you have even heard of the platinum rule. Most people know the golden rule. We all hear this. I see someone raise their hand. Thank you. God, that worked. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Right? Didn't we all hear this growing up? And you instinctively know what that is. But the platinum rule takes that a step further. And it says treat others the way they want to be treated, or do unto others as they want done unto them. So what exactly does that mean? I'm going to pick on my family because I'm comfortable talking about my family. But in my family, my mother loves jewelry, and she buys a lot of jewelry. And one of my daughters does not like jewelry. She doesn't wear jewelry. And my mother insists on giving her jewelry as a present. So my daughter's polite. She'll say, thank you, Grandma. And she literally hands it to me and says, I'll never use this, never wear it. Like, Grandma hasn't figured out in 18 years, what I like. And it makes her feel like her grandmother doesn't know her. If my mom would follow the platinum rule, she would recognize that my daughter loves sports and flying and, volunteering and lots of things where, jewelry's not the easiest thing to wear. And if she would give my daughter something like tickets to a sports game or tickets to some type of event or more flying lessons or something, my daughter would be so excited when she got the gift and a second time when she used the gift. So hopefully when a personal situation will help us take that into the work environment. I have used the platinum rule going back to the late 90s, right? Especially as a manager. You've probably all been in a scenario where your manager wanted to reward you and everybody in the company got a $100 gift card to Starbucks, or everybody got a Amex gift card. And it's not that you didn't appreciate it, but it wasn't very personalized. In the platinum rule, you have to be a little bit more of a servant leader and you're a very good listener. You have to want to help that person feel special. And you send them individualized items. It's a little bit more work, so much greater return. And there are lots of ways you can do that. So for example, in one of my jobs, I had about $50 per employee for a quarterly, kind of spiff that I wanted to give out. And Greg loved video games online. So he got a gift certificate to a video place where he could download games. Lori loved her dogs. She got a gift certificate to a gourmet dog food place that she talked about, et cetera. And what it really showed them was that I listened when they talked to me. When we talked over lunch or at the water cooler, I listened and I learned about them. And those rewards went so much further, and it was the same number of dollars. And, in today's economy, companies may be cutting back, but there's still things you can do that are individualized. You can get a subscription to electronic gift cards, not even gift cards, but just literally cards, e-cards. It's like $20 for an annual subscription for as many cards as you want to send. But you could take the time to get a little bit of an individualized card. I'm going to send Greg one that has sports on it. I'm going to send Catherine one that has roses on it, whatever matches their personality. So if you've not heard of the Platinum Rule, there's a book on the Platinum Rule. As you can see right now, it's very inexpensive, and it just so happens if you do the Audible, you can listen for free if you're in a free trial. It's not a long book. It's very easy, but I think the concept's pretty straightforward, and you can also just Google about it. But this is how you can start practicing implementing this in your life. Listen, really listen. And this goes for your family members. This goes for your coworkers. If you're a manager, it goes for the people that work for you. There is no situation that this does not apply. And for me, I have to record what I learn. So if I really listened when, Lori really told me about her dogs and she mentioned this exclusive boutique dog gourmet store, gourmet dog store, food store, I went and I wrote that down in my note sections on my employees because I knew I wouldn't remember it when I needed it. So practice really listening and practice having a place where you write down the tidbits that you learn so you can reference them when you need them. It sounds so simple. It just takes a little bit of time.